Hello and welcome to Optional Enterprises watch list for the week of September 16th, 2019. And we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. Our first symbol here is Activision, ATVI, triggered for a reversal. The reversal came in on the 11th on the scanner. And we're finding some resistance right around 56.92. We're looking for that resistance to hold. Initially, we might be looking for a short-term pop up, but we don't want it to break that 59 or 56.92. If we do break it, then we're looking to test the 62.35s. I don't believe it's going to break. I think we're going to fall back down. We're looking for a price target of 54.58 on Activision. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what it is that confirms our analysis there. Alright, so let's take a look at Activision's open interest, and our primary focus should be right around these 55 calls. We see we've got about 6,000 open interest with about 1,000 traded. What we'd like to see on Monday is those being added positions. So this indicator over here should take green, showing us that we had some positions added over the weekend, which would confirm our idea that we might be seeing around the 57.50 areas, which is where open interest seems to die off. So that's going to be the main focus for Activision. Longer term on Activision, I don't expect it to go much higher than 60. And if we come out to our October strikes here, you see you got a lot of open interest focused right around here. And those are the 55s to 60s, which corresponds with that gap in the chart. So just that's a little something to keep in mind. Also, if we look at our September 20th, you see that a lot of put activity is not really there. Even on Friday, the volume was just not there, which means that these inside days, which have been forming, are suggesting that this is still looking to push higher. We don't have a lot of ads down in the lower ends, which is where you usually see some ads if people believe it's going to go down, and there's really no activity up here. And this is a little concerning, but there's small positions, 24, 22, some people taking off probably just over the weekend, some small holders taking off their positions, but we can see a lot of these larger positions are still holding. See those larger positions start lightening up, that would be the indication that maybe we're looking for a short. Right now, Activision definitely looks good to the upside, probably for a couple dollars. Symbol WU, Western Union Company, has had a very nice run up. Started back over here in December and has just continued to climb. We see that we got a nice sell. On the 12th, it was triggered for a reversal. The reversal actually happened already, so we're looking for continuation of that, but it needs to break that 23.28. If we can break that 23.28, then we're looking for 22.85. See if we can just throw that in there real quick. So 22.85 is going to be the price target on this one if we can get that 23.28 to break. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what we can find there. Alright guys, so ticker symbol WU, Western Union Company, and our primary focus for Western Union is going to be right here at our 23 puts. You can see that we've got a fairly large concentration of open interest right there, 1,322. We've got 5 days to expiration on these, and we've got some decreasing over here on the call side. Not a lot, but again, this is not heavily traded, so this is not one to go big in on, but we do look good below 23. And there's not a whole lot of open interest to keep it from going down. So option buyers and sellers are not too interested in this, but this could be good for a quick play throughout the week. So if we take a look at our time and sales, you can see we've got one interesting buy. You can see it's not heavily traded, and not a lot of trading happened on Friday for this guy, but we had one right in the morning there, trade 95 at a 21 delta. and we did not see anything as far as exiting that position throughout the day. So that person is holding over the weekend, telling us that Western Union could be looking for a small decline into Monday, Tuesday, and of course Wednesday we've got Fed Day, so that will be a day to maybe reconsider the position, but this definitely looks good based on those strikes. Next symbol is ticker symbol ZS. So this one is triggered for a reversal. The reversal was triggered to the upside on the 9th. So we can see that the reversal came a little early for the scanner. We want to see it hit that 48.36. If we can get above that 48.36, then I'd be looking for a breakout, or not a breakout, but a rise up to around the 51.50 area. But if we cannot get above there, then we're looking for a fallback to 44.51, and that'll be our entry there. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what we can find there to confirm our analysis. Alright, so ticker symbol ZS. This one's triggered for a reversal, and there's a couple points that we want to be paying attention to, namely these 50 strikes. We see we've got some subtraction. We got about 851 traded on Friday with a total open interest of 1425. So this original position happened on the 11th, and there's around 2,800 contracts. And after that spike up on the 12th, they took off about half their position, and they've left half on. So this is a bullish bet right here, which kind of confirms our thesis that ZS is at least a short-term pop. I definitely wouldn't say I'm bullish on this stock long-term, but within the next few days we could be looking for a few dollars to the upside, as this person has not exited their full position. But if these 851 traded end up to be subtractions from this current position, that would be a bearish sign for us. You can see there's not a whole lot of resistance on our way up. We've got some, a couple open interests focused around here, 100, 167. Nothing of consequence though. The biggest one we see here is around the 50s. But we had 900 or 738 traded that day. So we'd really like to see this over here be subtracted from this current position. So we'd like to see that around 200 come Monday. And we'd like to see these positions increase. Unless, of course, ZS is just going to trade flat, in which case these could both be subtracting from their positions, as no one is really going to win as far as that works out. But it was triggered for a reversal, so ZS is looking good to the upside. Another thing that we could also be focusing on here is the time of sales. And if we look at our time of sales, we see we've got a lot of calls being bought. Now the deltas are pretty low, so that's not exactly great for bearish or for bullish sentiment. But you want to focus on the time of the days that these were bought. You can see a lot of these were in the morning, so they were probably playing into the day, holding into the weekend. So initially ZS could be looking to come down on Monday, but it still looks good to the upside. These deltas kind of signal either way. It could be a real speculative bet to the upside. These aren't 20s, which 20s are what we look for sellers. So just something to keep an eye on around your 49 calls, the activity around there. 49 to 50 calls are a good place to keep your eyes on, and it looks good to the upside, so we'll be watching those come Monday. Symbol is DLTR. This one is triggered for a reversal on the daily. We're at a key resistance level of 113.38. If we break that 113.38, we could be looking for 116.65, which would be 100% retracement. However, this is triggered for a reversal, so this week we are looking for the low of this candle, which is around 111.02. If we can break that 111.02, then we're looking for 108.63. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what we can find there. Alright, ticker symbol DLTR, Dollar Tree. This is triggered for a reversal, and our open interest definitely gives us a clear resistance level that we need to be watching out for. Tells us that maybe we're looking for a short-term pop on Monday, but I'd be looking for that short back down after we reach this area. So the 114 strikes. You can see we've got about 1,033 volume traded on those. If we see those as ads come Monday, meaning this number increases and this one ticks green with a high amount of contracts, then we could definitely be looking for this to come back up to 114, and then we're going to see a little bit of resistance up there. But we see over here on the put sides that there's not a lot of open interest holding it down. No resistance levels to be found up here, and we've got a modest amount of open interest down below us. So that leads us to believe that this could be a short-term pop up to 114, but I'd definitely be watching this for the drawdown. Another thing to keep an eye on is our time and sales on Friday. We see we've got a pretty big open interest right around here, 785 contracts traded at the market. Got a 32 delta though, so that's right around our sell area, so that's kind of bearish. But the time that it was placed was 11:45, which was just about when this was looking like it was starting to break out. We did get that breakout at the end of the day. So the time that this was placed definitely makes this a bullish buy, bullish speculation on Dollar Tree rising in the short term anyways, as this one expires the 20th, so the end of this week. I'd still be looking for that pop back down though, so watch for that rise up and then play the short down. Next symbol is WORK, Slack Technologies, recent IPO. It's been in the news a little bit. Triggered for a reversal on the 13th, and we can see that we've begun what could be the start of a new trend. But we needed to hold this trend, and we want to see it get above 24.92 for a price target of 26.86 this week. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what we can find there. Alright, so ticker symbol WORK. This one's triggered for a reversal to the upside, but we do have bearish activity, and the open interest definitely tells us that this bearish activity may continue. So what we want to be focused on here is our 2250 puts. We've got about 4,652, so that could be providing a pretty good support level this week. I don't expect it to go too much below 2250, but I would be looking for that level before I start looking for an entry to calls. You can see that we have a lot of open interest over here. The highest concentration being around these 30s, so definitely don't expect anything too dramatic as far as a rise up. We can see our 20 deltas start around here, so 26, if for whatever reason, because of that volume at the end of the day on work, we do decide to rally, 26 would be my target, but I'd be looking for it to get above that resistance zone. I think it was 24.92 before I look for an entry long into this one. If we take a look at our time and sales for work, we can see that some sales definitely confirm our lower support here. We got at the end of the day, somebody bought and sold a regular transaction between a buyer and a seller. The 2250 puts 176. As far as trading activity is concerned on this, it's a pretty large amount. So someone's making a pretty hefty bet that it's not going to go below 2250. But we also got a large order here up on the 28s, which is why 26 is kind of where I'm comfortable with a good price target. And you see a lot of corresponding trades here with low deltas. So again, that's either an extremely speculative bullish bet, or we've got some sellers here that are not expecting this to go above the 28s. So I'd be looking for that fallback first, and then looking for that entry around the 2250 for a rise up. ELT. So we've got FOMC this week. and it seems appropriate that we should be watching bonds. There might be a little bit of activity around here given this large sell. I believe bonds still have a little further to fall. 135.26 is where I'm looking for to find support, which is also confirmed by this 100 EMA and a longer term trend line. That seems to be a good area that we're going to look for to find our entry for calls. So we'll have to see price action on Monday. Let's go take a look at the open interest and see what we can find. Alright, so let's take a look at the open interest on TLT. There's a few key areas that we want to be paying attention to this week. So the first one here is the 136 puts. We see we've got 22,000 being traded there. So that may be providing a key support level for us come Monday. Looking for the trade down to 136 and then maybe be looking for some call entries. But we want price action to confirm it, so you want to see some volume and activity, right around here and also up here. More speculative bets, and then more conservative players are going to be adding over here. But if 136 does happen to break, then our next key level we're looking for is 134. You see we've got 26,000 options being traded right at that level. Now these are all confined to a few trades, so it's one person who made these bets, not one person but institution, whatever. But the number definitely exceeds the current open interest, so we can only assume that these are ads. This is a pretty large bet that it's either going to shoot right through 134, which doesn't seem entirely likely, or 134 is going to be providing us a fairly good support level, and then we could be looking for that trade back up to 136. So that's what I'll be watching for on Monday. First, we'll watch the 136. If 136 does break, we're looking for that breakdown to 134, and then a trade back up to 136. So let's go take a look at the time and sales, and we can see these actual trades. Alright, so here's our time and sales, and we can see that we've got large orders right there. 14,000 traded at the 134 puts for 290, so that confirms where that order came from. And then we've got another one, the 136 puts traded at 14,000. Take a look at our deltas here. The deltas are 8 cents. So these 134 puts definitely suggest these were part of someone selling, believing that 134 is going to provide a good support level. Again, the 136s are at 21, so those are also option sellers. 21 delta, those people are probably expecting that to expire worthless, but that's going to give us two great support levels to watch this week, especially with FOMC meeting this week. I don't expect it to have a huge impact on the market, but you never know. So those are going to be the key levels we're looking for to go long. So that's it for TLT. Alright, oil, ticker symbol USO. So USO, we had an inside day closing on Friday on some pretty good volume. We could be looking for a little more of a fallback to confirm this trend line. However, I am looking to get long on oil, and my ultimate price target is 1261. I've got a stop down here at 1109. So let's go take a look at the open interest and see what that tells us. Alright, so ticker symbol USO. We've got some key levels that we definitely want to be watching. We've got some tight consolidation of open interest focused around our 12s down to the 9s on the put side. And the call side, a lot of our open interest is focused around 1150s up to the 14s. So there's a few ways to interpret this. I am more inclined to the upside as far as oil is concerned. But at first glance, I would definitely say that this is very bearish, since a lot of open interest is focused above the market. It would tell me that 1150 is a pretty good resistance level, with 11 being our support, with 49,000 If 11 does decide to break, we could definitely be seeing, I could definitely be seeing as low as 10. But if 11 does decide to hold and we can break through that 1150, then I'm looking for the 1250 target. A lot of consolidation of open interest makes this one extremely difficult to read. The chart looks like it's set up for a breakout. Whether it's a break to the upside or downside, we're going to have to wait till Monday to see what a lot of this volume was doing here. We had a lot more volume on the call side. Like I said, I'm more inclined to the upside for oil. Another thing to take a look at is our time and sales. So you see in the morning we had some puts being traded. Not a lot of activity around here. It means that a lot of people are comfortable with their positions, it seems like. So there could just be a lot of chop sideways. But towards the end of the day, we did have a nice little 500 come in, which is nothing compared to the current open interest. It's less than 1% of the current open interest on some of those strikes. But we did have somebody coming in at a 79 delta, thinking that we're looking for the upside on oil. So that's what I'll be looking for. I really need 11 to hold. That seems to be an important area, and 1250 would be my target. Alright, for a quick look at SPY, you can see that we are at all-time highs. We made a new high, 302.46 on Thursday, and then we sold off below the close of the prior day, so you could be looking for a little bit of fallback down to this 300 area. But let's go take a look at the open interest and see what it is we can find there. Alright, so looking at our open interest, there's a few areas that you want to pay attention to. Our 300 puts, 14,000 open interest, and we had a lot of volume traded on those. So if those end up being ads, then this could be looking at a pretty strong support level for us. If that support level does happen to break, then we could be looking for 299 as our next area. And we've got some strong open interest concentrated above the market right now. 301.09 is where we closed out. So this could be providing some fairly good resistance. 301, 302 being our primary resistances. So as it looks to me right now, SPY definitely looks like we're going to be coming down on Monday, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday. But let's take a look at our time and sales and see if there was any end of the day trades that we might find interesting. So we're looking at our time and sales. We see we've got a large buy right here around the middle of the day at the 304 calls. Not part of a spread, so this was a regular transaction between a buyer and a seller. So 304 is definitely providing an upper resistance area, but these are low deltas. So this to me suggests a seller, and we could be looking for some fallback. So you want to keep an eye on the activity around there. Another interesting buy is going to be these 5,000 contracts traded at the 300 puts, again providing a strong support level. These were traded at the 25 deltas, so this is either a large speculative bet that we're going to see a fall below 300, or 300 is going to provide a nice support level for us to get some calls. Alright guys, I want to thank you for watching my watch list this week, and I wish you profits, and I'll talk to you next week when we come out with the next one.